Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a very special episode of Level Up English. I am Sarah, and I am so excited to be chatting with you today.
And I'm Alex. It is great to be back. You know, Sarah, the energy in the studio feels a little different today. It feels a bit more serious, but in a good way.
It does, because today we are tackling a monster that lives under everyone's bed. We are talking about the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. We are talking about self-discipline.
Oh boy, self-discipline. You know, just hearing that word makes me want to apologize to my gym trainer.
Why? What happened with the gym?
Well, let me tell you. Last week, I had this burst of motivation. I watched a motivational video on YouTube, you know the type, loud music, people running up mountains at 4 a.m., and I thought that is going to be me. I am going to be 4 a.m. Alex.
4 a.m. Alex. I already know this story is going to end badly. So, did you wake up at 4 a.m.?
I set the alarm. I laid out my clothes. I was ready. The alarm went off at 4 o'clock. It was pitch black outside. It was raining. My bed was so warm, and my brain suddenly became a lawyer.
A lawyer? What do you mean?
My brain started arguing a legal case against running. It said, Alex, logically, sleep is vital for your health. If you run now, you might injure yourself because you're tired. The responsible adult thing to do is go back to sleep.
That is brilliant. The inner lawyer. I think we all have that lawyer living in our heads. Mine usually shows up when I need to study or clean. It says, Sarah, you worked so hard today. You deserve to watch 3 hours of Netflix. It's self-care.
Exactly. We label our laziness as self-care so we don't feel guilty. And that, my friends, is exactly why we're here today. We are tackling the gap between what we want to do and what we actually do. We are talking about self-discipline.
Self-discipline. Even saying the word makes me feel a little bit heavy. It sounds like a punishment, doesn't it? It sounds like no fun, no games, just work. But today, we want to flip that idea. We want to look at discipline not as punishment, but as a form of self-love.
That is a beautiful way to put it. Discipline is promising yourself a better future. And to help us explore this, Sarah, you have written a story for us today, right?
I have, and I have to be honest with our listeners. The main character of this story, his name is Sam, but really, Sam is me, and Sam is probably you, Alex, and he's probably a lot of people listening right now.
I have a feeling I'm going to relate to Sam a lot. Take us into his world.
Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine a Tuesday evening in November. It's raining hard outside, that cold, relentless winter rain. We're in a small apartment in the city. It's warm inside, but the air feels stale, like the windows haven't been opened in days.
I can picture it. It smells like old coffee and maybe leftover pizza.
Exactly. There's a stack of unopened mail on the table. There are clothes draped over the chairs. It's not a disaster, but it's messy. It feels stuck. And in the middle of this room, sitting on a beige sofa that has a permanent dent in the cushion, is Sam.
And what is Sam doing?
Sam is doing what he does every single night. He's deep in his comfort zone. He's wearing his favorite gray sweatpants, the ones with the loose elastic waistband. He has a game controller in his hand. The TV is flickering with blue light. He's been playing for 3 hours straight.
3 hours. That's a long time to be zoned out.
It is. His eyes are dry and red. His back hurts from sitting in a bad position. He knows he has a presentation at work tomorrow. He knows the sink is full of dishes, but he just can't stop. He tells himself, just one more level, just 10 more minutes.
That's the classic lie. Just 10 more minutes. It's like a trance. You know you should move, but your body feels like it weighs 1,000 kilograms. You're glued to the sofa.
Exactly. It's a trap, a comfortable velvet trap. And the sad thing is, Sam isn't even having fun anymore. He's just clicking buttons to avoid thinking about his life. Because in the back of his mind, he has these big, beautiful dreams.
What does he dream about?
He dreams of being a runner. He watches people jogging in the park and feels a pang of jealousy. He thinks, I wish I was strong like that. He dreams of learning Spanish so he can travel to South America. But those dreams feel like they belong to a different person, a superhero Sam, not the Sam who is currently covered in cookie crumbs on the couch.
The gap between Sofa Sam and Superhero Sam feels like an ocean. It feels too big to swim across, so he just keeps playing the game to ignore the gap.
Precisely. But sometimes life intervenes. Sometimes the universe gives you a shove. For Sam, the shove came from the sky.
What happened?
A massive crack of thunder shook the whole building. Boom! And then, instant darkness. The power went out in the entire neighborhood.
Oh wow, the ultimate interruption.
The TV died instantly. The hum of the refrigerator stopped. The Wi-Fi signal vanished. The room went pitch black.
Silence.
Total silence. Just the sound of the rain drumming against the window. And in that dark room, without his game, without his phone, Sam couldn't hide anymore. He felt the emptiness of his evening. He felt the disappointment in his own gut.
That's a scary moment. When the noise stops, the truth comes out.
It does, and Sam sat there for a long time. Finally, he stood up, he walked to the window and looked out at the street, and he decided, I'm done. I'm done living like this. And that brings us to the first expression we need to really unpack today. Sam realized it was time to step out of his comfort zone. So, Sam is standing there in the dark. He realizes he needs to step out of his comfort zone. But Sarah, let's pause the story for a second. We hear this phrase all the time, right? Step out of your comfort zone. It is on Instagram, it is in motivational speeches, but what does it actually feel like? Because I think people forget that it actually feels terrible. Oh, you are so right. It feels awful. People think stepping out of your comfort zone feels like an adventure, like you are Indiana Jones. But actually, it feels like nausea. It feels like your stomach is turning. It feels like you want to run away and hide in the bathroom.
Exactly. It feels like sweat and panic. I remember the first time I had to give a presentation in university. My comfort zone was sitting in the very back of the class, wearing a hoodie and not saying a word. I was the invisible student.
I remember that version of you. You were very quiet. You basically lived in that hoodie.
I did. So walking to the front of that room to speak, honestly, Sarah, it felt like walking to my death. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped my paper. My heart was beating so loud I thought everyone could hear it. I thought, why am I doing this? I should just run out the door. That is the reality of leaving the comfort zone. It isn't fun.
But you stayed. You did it. And now look at you. You are hosting a podcast talking to thousands of people. You literally talk for a living now.
I do, and that is the magic, isn't it? If I hadn't stepped out of that zone, if I had run out of the classroom that day, I would still be that shy guy in the back row. I would never have found my voice.
That gives me goosebumps. It's the same for me with, well, this is a silly example, but karaoke.
Karaoke? Really? You're the queen of karaoke. You're always the first one to grab the mic.
I am now, but 5 years ago, no way. My comfort zone was singing in the shower where nobody could hear me. The idea of holding a microphone in front of strangers? Terrifying. I thought everyone would laugh at me. I thought I will make a fool of myself.
So what happened? How did you step out?
My friends forced me. They literally pushed me onto the stage. And for the first 30 seconds, I was frozen. I couldn't breathe. I chose a really easy song. I think it was Dancing Queen, but I was terrified. But then I looked up and realized nobody was laughing. They were singing along. They were cheering. And suddenly, the fear turned into excitement. I stepped out of the comfort zone and I found a new hobby that I love.
I love that story. So stepping out of the comfort zone isn't just about big things like changing your career. It can be small things, singing a song, wearing a bright color, or for our listeners, maybe it's just speaking English to a stranger for the first time.
Exactly. It's about being brave for just 5 seconds. Just 5 seconds of courage. So, let's go back to Sam. He's in his dark apartment. He decides to step out of his comfort zone, and then the lights come back on.
Ah, the test. The universe is testing him.
Yes, the power comes back. The TV flickers on. The video game console makes that little beep sound. It's inviting him back. It's saying, "Come on, Sam, just sit down. It's cold outside. Forget about the marathon. Let's play."
That's the hardest moment, the temptation. It's so easy to just slide back into the warm sofa. What did he do?
He looked at the controller. Then he looked at the door. He walked over to the TV and he pulled the plug.
He unplugged it? Wow, that's a physical commitment.
He unplugged it. He needed to break the cycle. And then he started looking for his running shoes. Now, Alex, have you ever looked for gym shoes that you haven't used in 2 years?
Oh, yes. They're usually buried under a pile of winter coats or hidden in the back of the closet covered in dust bunnies.
Exactly. Sam had to dig under his bed. He found them behind a box of old magazines. They were gray and dusty. One of the laces was knotted. They didn't look like winner's shoes. They looked like sad, forgotten shoes.
But he put them on?
He put them on. He tied the laces tight. He stood up and he walked to the front door. And this, Alex, brings us to the second major expression for today. He didn't just put on shoes, he set his mind to this goal.
Set your mind to. We touched on this briefly before, but I want to dig deeper. What does it really mean to set your mind to something? Because I tell myself I'm going to do things all the time, but I don't do them.
There's a huge difference between I want and I have set my mind to. I want is a wish. It's passive. Like, I want to win the lottery. You're just waiting for luck to happen to you.
Right. I want to be fit. I want to be fluent, but nothing changes.
Exactly. But setting your mind to something is active. It's aggressive. Think of it like a GPS in your car.
A GPS? How so?
When you get in your car, you type in the destination, let's say the airport. Once you set that destination, the car doesn't go anywhere else. If there's a roadblock, the GPS finds a new route. If you miss a turn, it recalculates. But the destination never changes. It's locked in.
I love that analogy, the GPS. So if you simply want to learn English, when you get tired or frustrated, you stop. But if you have set your mind to learning English, when you get tired, you rest and then you find a new route. The destination is locked.
Precisely. Sam locked in his destination, the marathon. Standing at that door, touching the cold metal handle, he wasn't just a guy trying to run. He was a guy who had decided to become a runner. So, the door opens. Sam steps out into the cold November night. The rain hits his face immediately. It is freezing, but he locks the door, puts his headphones on, and starts to run.
Here we go. The movie moment. The Rocky montage. He is flying down the street, right?
Alex, no. This is real life, not a movie. For the first 30 seconds, yes, he felt like a hero. He thought, I am doing it. I am a runner. But then reality hit him like a truck.
Oh no, what happened?
After about 2 blocks, his chest started to burn. You know that feeling when you breathe in cold air and it feels like your lungs are on fire?
I know it well. It tastes like copper in your mouth.
Exactly. His legs, which were used to sitting on a soft sofa for years, suddenly felt like they were made of lead. They were so heavy. He was gasping for air. Huff, puff, huff, puff. A grandmother walking her dog actually walked past him. She was faster than him.
Oh, the humiliation. Being passed by a grandma. That is a low point.
It was. Sam stopped at the corner, hands on his knees, trying not to throw up. And in that moment, he realized something painful. He realized that his lifestyle, the video games, the pizza, the late nights, had a cost. He couldn't just be a runner instantly. He had to change his fuel.
That makes sense. You can't put cheap gas in a race car and expect it to win.
Right. And that brings us to our third expression. Sam realized he had to cut down on his bad habits.
Cut down on. This is such a useful phrasal verb. Listeners, notice Sarah didn't say cut out. She said cut down on. What's the difference, Sarah?
To cut out means to remove something completely, 100%, like, I will never eat sugar again. That is noble, but usually it is impossible. You will fail in 2 days.
I have tried that. No coffee ever again. I lasted until 10 a.m.
Exactly. But to cut down on means to reduce, to do it less. It's about balance. Sam decided, I don't have to stop gaming forever, but I need to cut down on it, maybe just weekends. And he knew he had to cut down on the junk food.
This is really relevant to me right now. I'm actually trying to cut down on screen time before bed.
Oh, really? How's that going?
It's so hard. I lay in bed and my hand just automatically reaches for the phone. It's like a reflex. But I know that if I want to sleep better, I have to cut down on the scrolling. I'm trying to set a timer now. 30 minutes, then phone down.
That's a great strategy. Cutting down is about setting boundaries. For Sam, cutting down on the bad stuff made space for the good stuff. But back to the street corner. Sam is still there, gasping for air, wet and miserable.
He probably wants to quit right there. I would call a taxi and go home.
He wanted to. His brain was screaming, "Go home, Sam. This is stupid. You're not an athlete." He felt like a failure because he couldn't run even 1 mile.
We're so impatient, aren't we? We start something new and we expect to be experts immediately.
We do. We want the results now. But then Sam remembered something his old football coach used to say, a very famous proverb. He wiped the rain from his eyes and whispered, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Ah, Rome wasn't built in a day. I love this saying. It's so classic, but so powerful.
It really is. Think about the city of Rome, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, the beautiful streets. They are magnificent, but they didn't appear overnight. It took hundreds of years, brick by brick, stone by stone.
It means that great things, masterpieces, take time. You cannot rush excellence.
Exactly. And this applies so much to learning English. I see so many students who get frustrated. They say, Sarah, I've been studying for 2 months. Why am I not fluent?
And what do you tell them?
I tell them, you are building a palace in your brain. You are building a whole new language structure. Rome wasn't built in a day, and your English fluency won't be either. You have to lay the bricks every day.
That's such a comforting thought. It takes the pressure off. You don't have to be perfect today. You just have to place 1 brick.
Right. For Sam, 1 brick meant just finishing the run. He didn't have to run fast. He just had to not quit. So he stood up straight, he took a deep breath, and he started moving his feet again. Slow, clumsy steps, but he was moving.
He accepted that he was a beginner. That's a brave thing to do.
It is. And he kept going, day after day. And let me tell you, the first 2 weeks were awful. He was sore, he was tired, he was hungry, but he kept reminding himself, Rome wasn't built in a day. Just lay 1 more brick.
And slowly, I assume, the bricks started to form a wall.
They did. After a month, he could run without stopping for breath. After 2 months, he actually looked forward to the run. And then he started to do something that surprised even him.
So, we are a few months into Sam's journey. The winter has turned into spring. The trees are getting green again. And Sam is changing too.
He is. He isn't the guy gasping for air after 1 block anymore. He is the guy who looks forward to his evening run. The neighbors are starting to recognize him. Oh, there goes running Sam again.
Exactly. And this is where something magical started to happen. Sam didn't just do the minimum anymore. His training plan said, run 5 kilometers today. But Sam felt strong. The sun was shining, he had good music in his ears, so he ran 6 kilometers.
He pushed past the finish line.
He did, and that brings us to a beautiful idiom. Sam started to go the extra mile.
Go the extra mile.
I love this phrase. It fits our story perfectly because it literally comes from distance, a mile. But we use it for everything, don't we? Work, relationships, study.
We do. To go the extra mile means to do more than is expected of you. It is the difference between good and great.
Can you give us an example, maybe from outside of running?
Sure. Think about customer service. Imagine you go to a coffee shop. You order a latte. The barista gives you the latte. That is good. But imagine the barista notices you look sad. She draws a little smiley face in the foam and gives you a free cookie. She says, "I hope your day gets better."
That is definitely going the extra mile. She didn't have to do that.
Exactly. She put in that extra effort to make you feel special. In the workplace, the people who get promoted are usually the ones who go the extra mile. They don't just finish the report, they make it beautiful. They check it 3 times.
I remember when I was trying to impress a girl, who is now my wife, by the way, I really went the extra mile.
Oh, really? What did you do?
Well, she mentioned once, very briefly, that she loved this specific type of chocolate from Belgium. Months later, for her birthday, I tracked down that exact chocolate shop online and had it shipped to her house.
Alex, that is so romantic. That is the definition of going the extra mile. You listened and you put in the effort.
It worked. She married me. So listeners, going the extra mile pays off. For Sam, running that extra distance made him feel powerful. It proved to him that he was stronger than he thought.
But life is not a straight line up. Life is a roller coaster. Just when Sam was feeling invincible, life threw a curveball.
What happened? Did he get injured?
He didn't get injured, but he hit a slump. You know those weeks where everything goes wrong? His boss yelled at him at work, his car broke down, and it was expensive to fix. And then it started raining again for 3 days straight.
Oh, the when it rains, it pours situation. Everything happening at once.
Yes, Sam came home on Thursday. He was exhausted. He was stressed about money. He looked at his running shoes and he hated them. He thought, "Why am I doing this? I am tired. I just want to sleep."
I know that feeling so well. The motivation is gone. The superhero Sam is gone. It's just tired Sam.
He sat on the edge of his bed, head in his hands. He was about to take off his running gear. He was about to quit. And in that moment, he didn't need to go the extra mile. He didn't have the energy for that. He just needed to survive.
He needed our next expression.
Yes, he looked in the mirror, looked at his tired eyes, and whispered, "Hang in there."
Hang in there. It's such a gentle, supportive phrase.
It is. Imagine a cat hanging from a tree branch, trying not to fall. It's holding on with its claws. That's the image. To hang in there means don't give up. Endure the difficulty. Wait for the storm to pass.
It's what we say to friends when they're going through a hard time. I know work is terrible right now, but hang in there. It will get better.
Exactly. It's not about being a hero. It's about just not letting go. Sam didn't run fast that night. In fact, he walked half the way. He was slow, he was grumpy, but he didn't quit. He hung in there.
And that's the most important part of discipline, isn't it? It's easy to run when it's sunny and you feel great, but the real discipline is running when you want to cry.
Yes, that night, Sam proved to himself that he was tough. He realized that bad days don't last forever. If you just hang in there, the sun will eventually come out again.
And it did?
It did. The next week, the weather cleared. His car was fixed, and he felt lighter. He was back on track, and he kept going and going until finally, the day of the marathon arrived.
And finally, the big day arrived. The city marathon. Thousands of people, the noise of the crowd, the adrenaline in the air.
I can only imagine how nervous Sam must have been, standing at the starting line in his running shoes.
He was terrified, but he was also ready. The gun went off, bang, and he started running, kilometer after kilometer. His legs hurt, his lungs burnt, but he kept remembering the long winter nights. He remembered the rain. He remembered unplugging the TV.
He remembered all the discipline he had built.
Exactly. And when he finally crossed the finish line, oh, Alex, he wasn't the fastest runner. He didn't win a gold medal, but he fell to his knees, covered in sweat, crying tears of joy. He looked at the medal they gave him, and then he looked back at the memory of himself on the beige sofa, and he realized he had come a long way.
Come a long way. That is our final expression, and it is the perfect ending. It means to make significant progress, to change and grow.
Sam had come a long way, not just in distance, but in his mind. He wasn't Sofa Sam anymore. He was a runner. He was a person who could keep promises to himself.
Wow, what a journey. Thank you for sharing that story, Sarah. I feel like I went on that run with him.
Me too. But Alex, listening to a story is one thing, living it is another. And for our listeners to really own these expressions, they need to speak them.
That is right. It is time for the most important part of the hour, the shadowing section.
Listeners, if you are in a safe place, in your car, in your room, I want you to speak out loud. Don't be shy. Step out of your comfort zone right now.
We will say the expression, explain the feeling of it one last time, and then give you a sentence. I want you to repeat it. Let's make it happen.
Are you ready? Let's go. Shadowing 1. The first one is step out of your comfort zone. This means being brave and trying something new that scares you. Repeat after me. To really succeed, you have to step out of your comfort zone. To really succeed, you have to step out of your comfort zone.
Next is set your mind to. Use this when you are 100% determined to do something. Repeat after me. You can achieve anything if you really set your mind to it. You can achieve anything if you really set your mind to it.
Now, let's practice cut down on. This means reducing a bad habit to be healthier or better. Repeat after me. I'm trying to cut down on sugar to be healthier. I'm trying to cut down on sugar to be healthier.
This is the proverb, Rome wasn't built in a day. Use this to remind yourself to be patient. Repeat after me. Be patient with your studies. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Be patient with your studies. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Next is go the extra mile. This means doing more than people expect of you. Repeat after me. To succeed in business, you always have to go the extra mile. To succeed in business, you always have to go the extra mile.
This is for tough times. Hang in there. Tell this to yourself or a friend who is struggling. Repeat after me. I know work is stressful right now, but just hang in there. I know work is stressful right now, but just hang in there.
Finally, come a long way. This is to celebrate how much you've improved. Repeat after me. Your English has really come a long way since last year. Your English has really come a long way since last year.
Amazing. Fantastic work, everyone. If you spoke out loud, you should be very proud of yourself.
Yes, you just exercised your English muscles. That was great.
We have covered so much today. I feel like we've come a long way in this hour alone.
We really have. Listeners, we know that discipline is hard. We know that sometimes you want to quit. But remember Sam. Remember that you can unplug the TV. You can put on the shoes. You can change.
We are cheering for you, and we want to hear your story. Please, in the comments below, tell us what is one thing you want to cut down on, or maybe a goal you have set your mind to.
Yes, share it with us. Let's make the comment section a supportive community. We read every single comment, and they honestly make our day.
And if you enjoyed this special long episode, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who needs a little motivation. Maybe send it to a friend and say, hey, hang in there.
Thank you so much for spending this hour with us. It means the world to us. Take care of your English and take care of your inner voice.
This is Alex.
And I'm Sarah, and you've been listening to Level Up English. Have a wonderful, disciplined week. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.